Hello, this is Jessica with On a Stack of Books, and today is my December reading wrap up. I ended up reading 5 books in December, and some of them I've already done the reviews on, and so I will link the videos. This first one was the first book that I read. It's 2 books in 1. This was a sugary sweet murder mystery, both stories around Christmas time, and it's fun. It's festive. I always want to read these books, but then I read them and I'm like, would I recommend it? No. This could very well be your thing. It is not really my thing. I think I try to make it like, I want to like it. I read them. They're cute. It's fine. It's a little over the top on the sugar, on the sweetness. It could be a little bit more realistic. That's all. So I'll link the video that I did for this. The next one is, we read this for our book club, our in-person book club, and this is the Lily Armitage. Her family has a family home that's sort of like an estate mansion, sort of, big, and it's called the Endgame House, which is a little odd because they also have a tradition of doing this Christmas game every year. And the Christmas game is anagrams, riddles, puzzles to figure out, and that was how they would find their gifts as children and things like that. Lily grew up in this house. She grew up playing these games. She's very good at these puzzles and anagrams, but her mother was found dead when she was about 9 years old, and they made it appear, or it appeared to be suicide, but she never thought that it was. And when she left the house, she never wanted to go back. Obviously, bad memories there. There's a maze out in the yard, or on the estate, and it's quite large. And that's where she found her mother. So when her grandmother died, she sent her a letter saying, I have this one last Christmas game, and I really want you to come and play because the prize is the house. And over the years, apparently, different family members, that was always sort of a contention that they each wanted the house. They didn't want a portion of it. They wanted the entire house. And she is sort of luring her with the promise of more information surrounding her mother's death. And she said, within the riddles and the anagrams, I'm going to give you more information, more details about it. And she knows that she wants that. So she does go back. The game is the 12 Days of Christmas, 12 clues, 12 keys. And whoever gets the key, there's 12 keys, so it's like there's one key that unlocks the secret room. So the idea is that the more keys you have, the better chances. Or if you work together and everybody kind of collects these keys, there's a hidden room, and apparently the key unlocks the room. There is a twist. There's a caveat to the rules of the game, and that sort of comes out as they're playing. Again, Lily grew up in this house. She grew up with her grandmother, so she's familiar with all of these, and she's very good at these riddles. The beginning of the game, or the book, it actually gives you a layout of the house. It gives you the family tree, which is very helpful. And then it also gives you sort of a head start on the anagrams. So the first day, it's a partridge in a pear tree. Well, I looked at it, I looked through them, but an anagram is where you mix up the letters and you come up with a new word or phrase. And so I really didn't try. And then as I was reading and she's discovering and figuring these things out, I was like, oh yeah, no, I would have never gotten that. So this was a really fun read. This I would recommend for at Christmas time, a good holiday read, because you get sort of some of the cozy Christmas, but then you're trying to figure out, what's happening. And So yeah, it was interesting. It was good. It kept my attention. So that's always a good thing. Moving on to The Stupidest Angel by Christopher Moore. I also did a read with me, ride with me video because we went around looking at Christmas lights. And so I read the first chapter to that and then gave my reaction. So I'll link that video. But if you are a Christopher Moore fan, he's funny. He has a lot of characters. This one is about the stupidest angel that comes down to earth to grant a wish to a child, but he grants the wish in not the way that the wish was intended, and chaos ensues. So it is a heartwarming tale of Christmas terror, and there was terror. So I will link that video, but that was a fun read. Again, this is sort of more along the lines of what I was looking for, where it's Christmassy. Christmas is happening along the timeline, but it's not that sugary sweet, like murders are happening. So this was good. And then the next one is not a Christmas book, but my daughter was reading this at school, and we had another copy at home, and she really enjoyed it. So we started reading it together. And this is a true story of two children living in southern Sudan. But you have one storyline at 2008 is the little girl Naya. And then the little boy, Salva, his storyline is 1985. And how they're living and what's happening, and how it parallels and, how it's different too. But Naya is a young girl who it takes her 8 hours every day to walk and get clean water for her family, and that's basically her only job, because it takes her 8 hours. She's not able to go to school, she's not able to do much of anything else. That's her job for her family. And if they don't get this clean water, like at one point her sister got sick, and I think she was drinking either water that they found closer or something, but of course it was dirty, and so then it was like dysentery, I think. But the little boy Salva, he's living with his family, and they are, it's a happy family. He loves his parents. He goes to school. Everything is well. They're doing good. There is war happening around them, near them, but they're not in it. There's some neighboring tribes that don't get along, but he's still young, so he's not really fully aware of it. And then one day at school, gunshots ring out, and the teacher, tells them all to run. And he says it's not safe to go back to the village to your home, so you have to run, you have to get away. And so he runs, and he is very scared. And how am I going to find my parents? How are they going to find me? What am I going to do? And so it's his path mostly, his storyline of going. You get little glimpses each chapter. It shows, like for Naya, you'll get like a little 1 page, and then you'll get 3 or 4 pages of Salva. And so, and his story is horrific. I mean, they're walking, just months and months and years, and they don't have enough water, they don't have enough food, and it's a miracle that he survived, truly. So, and then there is a twist, so I won't say much more, but it's a beautiful story. It's heartwarming, and it's amazing. So really, really good read. And it's really quick. It's really short. It's like 120 pages. And then the last one is Jane and the 12 Days of Christmas by Stephanie Barron. And this is a Jane Austen mystery where Jane is the character in this story. It's Jane Austen, her mother, and her sister. And it is Christmas time. They are going to visit their brother, or her brother. And it's sort of the thing that they do. It's sort of an obligation. They're not very excited about it because they really enjoy the food and the gifts and all of the fun holiday stuff. And their brother is like a pastor or a preacher, and he does not appreciate that part of it. He thinks that they should be praying and going to service, and he views all of the gifts and the extra as this paganism, and he's not for it. He has 2 children, and Jane and her sister would be their aunt, and they're giving gifts for each day. The 12 days of Christmas, they're giving a gift each day, and this, he doesn't like that. His wife is sort of this, she's sickly, but she's sort of a hypochondriac, and she's doing it for attention, and so they're just not excited to go into that situation. It's not super fun for them, but collectively they all also go to a neighboring house, a family, the Vine House, and spend these 12 days of Christmas. And while they're there, a murder occurs, and so she's Jane Austen in this book as a well-known author. People know her for Pride and Prejudice. She's finishing up writing Emma in this book, which is kind of cool. And so because she's an author, and in this character, there's obviously more books that are this Jane Austen mystery. She has a different way of thinking of things, and so she's curious, and she likes to solve the murders and sort of look at the details and everything. And so she becomes involved in it because she wants to be. And it is a slow pace. There was parts that dragged for sure, but once the murder happened, it picks up and it's more interesting. It was a lovely book to be reading around Christmas time. I don't know that I would read the other Jane Austen, just because there's a lot of detail, there's a lot of extra stuff that you feel like I could do without that. Let's just get to the story. So, but it wrapped up nicely, and it was very enjoyable. I did have to push through a little bit, but it was enjoyable. So yeah, so it was good. So a really good holiday. I intentionally wanted to read Christmassy books, and I feel like I got a good mix of some sugary sweet with more murdery Christmas. So it was a good reading month. I'm looking forward to my books for the new year, for January, and kind of stepping away from these holiday Christmas books and reading some other ones off of my shelf. So thank you for watching, and until next time, I will be reading.